My hands trembled as I typed. Every second counts when you're bidding on eBay. 2 weeks ago, I had sat in the same spot trying to buy the same camera, but my eyes got heavy and my mind slowed to a crawl. When I next opened my eyes, the screen read sold. At least I saved money. Today I had 10 seconds to make the same decision, to buy or not, but I would not be limited by fatigue. 2 seconds before the bid was over, all costs, pros and cons left my mind, and I knew all I wanted was to win the bid, and so I did. Following the adrenaline rush, thoughts of money and usefulness rushed back into my head. I was confused but happy. My friend Josh was the first to get into photography. I remember when he first got his camera, he asked me to accompany him on a photo shoot. I wasn't a model or anything, but I figured it'd be nice to have some pictures of me other than the ones my mom took of me as a 6-year-old. There was a certain smoothness to opening a camera bag, a sense of importance similar to opening a briefcase filled with money. We both weren't particularly experienced, but he guided me left and right. When I was in position, he pulled out a string of fairy lights, something he'd seen other photographers use. Individually, they lit up, like hundreds of tiny stars on a string. I stood there and watched, knowing that he was seeing something completely different from what I was experiencing, waiting patiently to see the finished product, unsure what to expect. The end results were astounding. I was amazed that the boring scene I was in could be turned into something completely different with the snap of a camera. Luckily, Josh was one who liked to share his toys. I got my first little taste of what it was like taking photos when he, in turn, asked me to take photos of him. For some reason, holding a camera feels powerful. In your hand is a mechanism that determines how you will remember an event for years to come. A good photo can elicit good thoughts about the past, and a bad photo, bad ones. What was I going to remember from these photos I took that day? The heavy weight of the camera, or the authority I felt directing the person in front of it? And of course, even though my friend let me take photos on his camera, there was something uncomfortable about the photo not belonging to me. Every time I posted on social media, it was his possession that I was borrowing. I couldn't stand it. The big question came down to whether I'd have lasting interest. I used to be obsessed with Rubik's Cubes, but that passed. Then it was coins, then it was playing cards. All of these were cheap hobbies compared to photography. The weeks I spent waiting for my camera after I decided to make that click were slow at best. I had no money left to eat out with my friends or go to events with them. My days were mostly filled with taking naps and doing homework. The weeks blurred together like the days and nights melted together. Finally, after 2 weeks, my camera arrived. I quickly opened the box and peered down on it. Lifting it from the box, I held it to my chest, cradling it like it was my baby. I quickly invited Josh to a photo shoot. It's quite cold outside. Nobody wanted to be outside too long. I took my camera out of its bag and held it. It wasn't anything crazy compared to Josh's camera, but it was mine. It was too cold to spend deciding the shot I wanted, so I had Josh stand next to the wall. I pointed the camera at him, and everything was out of focus. Every decision I had made came rushing back into my head. To buy a camera or not? I was unclear, but I took the first step. What memories am I going to make with it? I took another step. Was it worth it? I took one last step and snapped a photo. I held the camera in my hand and looked at the picture I had taken. My picture. And just like the photo, with every step, everything, especially whether or not my impulse decision to buy a camera was the right choice, came into focus.